Sally to the Mon Bailey here, and welcome to Coffee Time. I hope you've had a lovely week, but if you haven't, that's okay. It's Friday, and that means weekend's coming. So today I'll be talking about my journey into French, and I'll be questioning a little bit of what it means to be fluent in a language. So I hope you've got your snacks and your coffee, and here we go. This week I went and I got some macarons. Oh yeah. These are literally everywhere in France. Every single bakery, every grocery store has them, and it's great. It's lime, which I wasn't expecting. The green ones are usually pistachio, but still very nice. So as I'm sure is clear by now, I'm studying abroad in France, but for those of you who don't know, I'm really immersed in French. None of my classes are in English. I'm enrolled in an actual French university, not just my school's program here. And so I'm speaking, and I'm in a homestay, clearly. So all the parts of my life that are not on the internet are really immersed in French, and it's been great. I don't know, I went home to the US for Christmas, and when I was there I was like meeting new people because my parents moved, and so I didn't know anyone there, and but they knew my parents by that point, and so they had heard that, oh, I'm studying abroad in France. So the question I always got was, oh, so you must be fluent now. And I always just said yes, because it's such a difficult question to answer, and I feel like Americans don't really know how hard it is to become fluent in a language, simply because we don't really learn other languages, or at least most Americans don't really master a whole other language, and they certainly don't live in another culture. My honest answer of whether I'm fluent or not will vary depending on the day, the time, who I'm talking to, and how much I've understood that day. I suppose that my language has all the hallmarks of fluency, but then again, the better you get at a language, the more you realize how much there is left to learn. Like things like idioms. I don't know French idioms at all, and whenever I try or there's stuff that you try and write in a paper and you get it back and it turns out it was only an English idiom and they don't have it doesn't translate to French, things like that. But it's very interesting because in my day-to-day life, going about the city, I'm totally in French, and I can go to any store and buy what I'm looking for or ask questions about something, and I'm taking university classes, and I can give a 20-minute presentation on medieval French literary analysis, and when I watch the TV or a movie, I understand what they're saying. But I've been studying French for 7 years now, and I'd say a level of fluency and comfort in the language only came in the last year and a half. So it's really, it's much harder than people think. And sometimes I think about it, I wonder if it's even possible that I'll ever get to C2, just because there are sometimes I don't understand anything at all still. It depends on, like, if someone has an accent, I don't know. I have trouble comprehending them. France is really big on oral presentations in class, so every week in all of my classes someone's giving a 20-minute presentation on something. And so they're students, they're mostly my age, and some of them I just can't understand a single word they're saying in their 20-minute presentation. I don't know, something about this generation of French people, they just mumble, I guess. It's really weird. Because when my professors speak, I'll understand everything they're saying. But then when they're doing attendance, I don't understand a single person's name. I barely understand my name just because you say it with a French accent. I don't know, I guess when I started learning French, I didn't know any other languages besides English, obviously. And I always assumed being fluent was just knowing every word. And that's basically impossible. I don't know every word in English, but I can find them out. It doesn't mean I'm not fluent in it. I certainly know fewer words in French, but again, that doesn't mean I'm not fluent. So I'm always left wondering, am I just being harder on myself because I feel like French is foreign to me? Well, I know I'm fluent in English, no one can tell me otherwise, but French still feels like a privilege in some senses. So I can have a conversation about things that don't interest me and that I don't have a firm knowledge of now in French. So I would say that would be fluency, I guess. It's interesting because this Saturday I'm actually taking the test de connaissance française, something like that. It's a test to measure your fluency in French, and it's got a writing section and a listening section. It's kind of like the SAT, except it's just about your knowledge of French. I took it before I came to Paris. Everyone in the program did. And my results were just one level below fluency, B2 for those who know of these things, but that's still intermediate. And I know I've improved, I just don't know. I don't know if I will actually call myself fluent unless I do have a test result that says I am fluent, but then it's a standardized test, so who knows if it even measures really well what it says it measures. I suppose it would have to, because it's just, do you know the language? But no matter what the test results say, I know I have improved my French over this year. After a class where I've just listened to 3 hours of lecture in French and I understood the parts where I wasn't bored out of my mind, I feel like I'm fluent. I don't know. I know at this point that I could live in France by myself without the support system that Smith has provided for me, and I would be okay. So I guess that's a level of cultural and linguistic fluency that is definitely hard to come about. So definitely grateful and definitely feeling accomplished about that. But then again, it's interesting because you are living as a foreigner in the country, and even though I'm in a university, and because it's a European university, there's always tons of Erasmus students, which is the European exchange program. They've standardized European universities, so if you're an EU citizen, it's now very easy to study abroad in the EU. So in any given one of my classes, there's a lot of American and other European nationality students. So they're used to my presence. It's not like I'm fascinating or exotic or anything like that. It's but any paper I write, I still get back lots of little mistakes of verb agreement, because French is a gendered language, which is always hard for English speakers to adapt to. So each noun is a male or female, and you have to remember that. And then you have to make adjectives agree in number and gender with the nouns, and so it can get kind of complicated. And so if you don't exactly remember the gender of your noun, it can be really a guessing game, and you're probably gonna lose. So I suppose the point of my argument is that from an outside perspective, it would seem that I'm fluent in French, but from the inside perspective, my French is far from perfect. After I run my papers through like 2 or 3 proofreading programs, and I'm always in wordreference.com because I don't know the exact word I'm looking for in French or something like that, and I'm always checking conjugations. Fluency is a lot more work than people think. And so I guess we'll see on Saturday if I have it or not. I don't know when we get test results back. But I'll let you guys know. So that's what I got for you this week. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings. If you did, there's another coffee time video coming to you next Friday, and I'll have another new video out on Monday. So go to the comments if you can relate about having no idea if you're fluent or not, or what's your journey into a new language or culture. And don't forget that you can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram at Soirishcream, and then I've got a blog at pinesandpoplars.wordpress.com. So I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. Bye!